It's the Jack
and Cathy
show.
Shit show.
And there we go.
Yeah,
Okay, I think it. Yeah.
Okay. This is Cathy Riley and Jack Honar.
Are you doing your late?
Bringing you,
We got some smooth jams coming up. We got a little.
Yeah.
We got a little Herbie Hancock jazz.
Herbie Hancock?
I don't know. I was trying to think of some stuff.
I thought for a second you said Herbie Hancock.
We have herpes with our Hancock. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Can we just do? Hey, you know what I've always wanted to do as a podcast?
What?
But you never want to do it.
Uh-oh. I'm scared now.
No,
what are you going to say?
Why do you always get scared?
It involves like nudity or something.
Why do you say that?
Because I know you.
It's not true. That's so mean to me.
Okay. What have you always wanted to do?
I've always wanted to do a podcast where we talk in all the voices that we use. And you've always said, no, we're not going to do it. And I, for one, think we should do it once in a while. Because I think you got a good head on your shoulders. I think you do good accents. I think you do good dialects. I think you're funny.
Well, thank you.
You're not even gonna bite the hook I'm throwing in the water, are you? You are gonna be so stubborn right now that you're not gonna move. Tell me.
Maybe.
Oh, come on.
I'm suddenly shy.
Why you did it.
I'm just a little shy.
I don't know why you're shy. You weren't shy with Billy Johnson on 75th and Clock the other night.
You were there.
What? I made that up. Christ.
Hey, can we talk about our latest greatest favorite TV show? That your daughter turned us on to?
Oh, God. I'm so loving that. This podcast is going to be about nothing, right? There's a Seinfeld episode.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Nothing. Yeah, I think it's almost always about nothing.
I appreciate the fact that we've gone to the deep end of the pool recently. And I also have to say something for the record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say. No. Yeah, you do.
What?
I don't like going to the deep end of the pool.
I know you don't, but you know.
So that's why I'm glad we're going to talk about TV shows.
I love keeping this real, and this is, you and I are on a journey, right? This is so new for both of us in so many ways. And the idea of this podcast was about two old farts like us finally really finding a partner that we have such a strong connection to and such a deep level of compatibility. Right. This is where you say yes. Yes.
Yes.
And there's a journey there, right?
There is a journey. So I feel sometimes
we wanted to share in that journey because maybe somebody would glean some little moments of our
moments is good.
Unprofessional, untrained wisdom.
Right. I agree.
As just real people navigating this shit.
I totally agree with you right there.
Yes,
sure.
Nice try. I don't have a Scottish accent.
No, but you got a British one.
It just basically ends up, my Scottish accent basically ends up like northern Minnesota.
Or we could do that too, though. You know, hey, over there, if you wanted to. You're not going to bite for this for 1 minute, are you? I'm going to try the whole time, and you're not going to. Speaking
of these accents, when I would watch, a Viking show, there's some cool. I love those period things, and there's a show called Vikings, and I listen to them talk. Did I talk about this before?
Not on a podcast for sure.
But I can hear that Minnesota, Wisconsin, Midwestern
There's
influence on our words. So it makes
Hayden.
sense. And I just had this aha of how that connected to our history of how the Vikings came from the north and into Canada and then into Minnesota and Wisconsin. Minnesota.
Great.
And that's kind of why we hear that in our accent sometimes.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty profound.
Yeah.
I never thought about the historical reason why people have that cadence and inflection in their voices.
Yeah. It's so when you think about it though, it's it's how we learn from the other people. And,
okay.
I'm trying so hard. For anyone,
I know you're trying hard.
Yeah, for anyone who listens to this show and hasn't seen us in person, which is nobody, you do the accents all the time.
Sometimes I get shy.
You're not shy in public, but you're shy on a podcast with 8 listeners.
Maybe. All right, but I do want to talk about our favorite new show.
Okay, let's talk about the show.
Okay. It's called Jury Duty.
Oh my God, it's so
on
funny.
Amazon
Thank
Prime.
you, Alex.
And Jack's daughter Alex suggested that to us the other day. We are only on
episode 3.
Third episode.
Oh, I can't
and
get enough of it.
It is a gut buster. It is so funny. The premise is that it's shot documentary style, as if they are going into court and there is a case that is going to be tried and they are trying to find jurors for the case. But the catch is that only everybody except one person is a paid actor on this whole thing.
There's a juror. A juror. And not a rural juror either. If anyone knows that reference, ping us. It's not a rural juror. Do you know what that's from?
Who likes a rural juror?
This would be the time that if Key was really good at production, and this is kind of like a challenge to her, she would insert right here in a little pause the scene that I'm talking about, because she knows what it is. It's a rural juror.
A rural
it's from
juror.
A TV show, yes.
Okay.
The Rural Juror was the name of his show, in fact. So one of the jurors is not an actor.
Correct. He's a real person.
They're just filming this person's reactions to all this stuff. They made it look like a documentary that a film crew had access to a trial, and they were going to talk about what it means to be on jury duty. And so who's the main lead actor on it? He's pretty famous.
Oh, so and one of the people that was called in to
jury duty,
be
a juror.
Called up for jury duty is the actor James Marsden, who is so funny. He's one of these very Rob Lowe-esque in that he's a very handsome actor, but his comedic timing is
spot on.
He's
so funny.
And the self-deprecating humor. And so he plays himself in it, but of course he's acting because the whole thing is just a farce.
And everyone else in the show, all the other actors, don't even know who he is. Like the judge is like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And I don't care. And so the rest of the jurors just think he's an asshole actor.
Self-absorbed egomaniac who's over on the sidelines reading his own scripts.
Except for the guy who doesn't know that this is all a farce. And he even goes up to James. It's like, yeah, one of your movies sucked, dude. Yeah. It's like, I know I saw you somewhere. It's so funny.
It is so clever. It has this, this quick cut documentary format,
like The Office.
little Office-like in its camera work and the spontaneity.
There we go.
And then how the actors are delivering lines straight into the camera because they're being interviewed and asked questions, and so it's got very Office-like. But it also has that Larry David angst to it, where you're like, "Oh my God,
it's
that
just
did
so
not
stressful.
just happen."
It's so funny.
No. Oh my word! And I'm just
remembering all the scenes, and I just moved back up to the mic.
You're on a podcast.
I just sat back on the couch.
Stay near the mic.
I'm just remembering that scene where the guy said he's going to the bathroom, and I want to reveal it, but I don't want to do spoiler shit.
No, you don't want to spoil it.
And you and I were laughing so hard that we had to press pause.
We stopped the show. I mean, and that is a true sign of a great show. I think it's super brilliant.
If we press pause, then we know it's a good show. If we press pause.
Yes.
Nobody else.
Nobody else.
As long
just
as we
us.
press pause.
Yes, because our level of humor and the litmus test to find what is truly funny. Litmus test. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is truly the measure of true humor. And so you have to check it out. It's on Amazon Prime, And when Prime started showing commercials, how flippin'
it's
annoying
so
is that? How
annoying.
much do we pay now for Prime?
We pay for so many subscriptions. That's why I sent you that link on Instagram about reducing your subscriptions. We pay like 10,000 subscriptions for shit.
Yeah.
And then watch HBO Max commercials.
Well, okay, so here's a funny sidebar to us being in our committed relationship now and owning a house together. We have not condensed our subscriptions yet. So we both have Spotify. We both have Amazon
Netflix.
Prime. We both have Netflix. We both have Hulu. We both have Apple.
So does that mean we're not really committing to one another because we're still holding on to our
that
subscriptions?
you are not really in this relationship. That's what I.
You know what I really think it is? I'll tell you what I really think it is.
You don't want to give up your Amazon Prime. You're already my kids use it. I'm like, but my kids use it too. We'll give them the passwords.
I know, but I have so much of my history and shit stored there.
Yeah, and that's
But
important.
I guess it stays in the account, right? It doesn't really matter if it's Prime or not. But you know why I don't want to give up? So I know I shouldn't say don't want to do this, but it's funny. I was thinking about it the other night. Well, you're smiling right now. It's so funny.
It's so funny. It's like the possessiveness and ownership and just.
But I think you'll agree with what I'm about to say.
Okay, say it.
We're looking at the camera at each other. What are we doing?
Both. Just to check out my hair every now and again.
Me
That's
too.
when we look at the camera.
Me too.
Okay, go ahead.
On Spotify, I have all of my saved songs, my playlists. Can you have both of us on the same account and keep
so
your
that's
playlist?
something to figure out is I think with a family Spotify plan, which do you pay for that already? The family one?
Yeah, because I think no, I just have my own. I have my own.
I think you
So if we got
can,
a family one, we keep our own playlist.
Yeah, I already have the family one.
So, but on Netflix, so that's what's funny because I was thinking about this the other day as I was truly going, we should consolidate all this shit. It's ridiculous that we're both spending. Mm-hmm. The only thing that we don't have our own of is YouTube TV, so we get
Yeah, I
regular
never
TV,
got
but,
YouTube TV, so
but we
you have
share that. Right? So that's what we share.
And I think I get free with my Verizon. I think I get Hulu and Disney. And then somehow I accidentally started paying for Paramount Plus, which I've been paying for that for over a year and didn't even realize
I don't even know what we watch on it. I think we were going to try to watch that Sylvester Stallone movie, or we got it for your parents to watch Yellowstone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then that bill went up $5 a month or something. So
yeah, everything's gone up.
when
Well,
are we
okay,
going
so
to
let me get back to
consolidate that and make this relationship real, okay? It's not marriage. It's not buying a house. It's not like
you're the only chick
taking
that doesn't want
anybody's
a ring.
name. It's about consolidating your subscriptions.
You'd make me take your name anyway.
Hell yeah.
It is a
Jack
cool
Riley.
name. That would be
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
Yeah, we can hyphenate. Jack H. You can turn your
No, if I
last name.
was Jack Riley, you know how many like jobs I'd probably get because of it.
Let's
Seriously.
experiment.
I can't. My
Jack
dad would love
Riley.
it. If my dad was alive today, he would say, "Take her name now." He would. He had wanted me to change my last name. He used to tell Sam,
Yeah.
you know, you can't be a baseball player with the last name
Mm-hmm.
of Hodgnar. So anyway, can I get back to the Netflix thing?
No, I like talking about my name, actually.
Yeah.
Riley. It's super cool. And you know what's really sad is in my immediate family, the name will not carry on because my brother has one daughter.
Oh yeah.
Then my sister, of course, is my sister first of all, but her daughter, she also had two girls. So
Well, she's not a Riley anymore.
she's not a Riley anymore. And then I never changed my name, but my kids obviously
dad's.
don't have their dad's last name. And so I kind of, but I never gave up my last name. So it would
Why
be
would
really,
you?
really nice if you became
Took your
Jack
name.
Riley. Yeah.
I became Jack Riley.
Yeah. If you became Jack Riley. Now, doesn't that feel weird to you? Imagine if you changed your name, and that's
No,
what
I have to
women
say it
do.
doesn't. No, I
Women
have to say it
change their
doesn't.
name.
No, let me explain something. I have to admit to you that it doesn't sound.
No?
Because look, I've got a nice family. This is not about ripping up my heritage. I know where you're going with this, though, right? That your whole heritage and foundation is your last name because it has lineage to history, right? I get
It's
that.
really coming from a woman place, to be honest, because the
I
idea
missed
that we as individuals give up our names when we get married and have to take your name. I mean, what is Just what? Ponder that, just that little nugget for a
Are
second.
we going down a deep end of like women's rights things and all that stuff? Because I'm not a misogynist by any stretch. I just was really happy talking about TV shows and Netflix.
I don't care what you want right now.
All right, let's go down this path.
It doesn't have to be a long path, but please ponder it. You know that's fucked up. It's fucked up that we change our names. We give up our names in this union and we take the man's name. And even when you address them, it's Mr. and Mrs., Jack Honar. Really? So now we gave up both names when we're addressed in public or in, you get an invitation. Now you're just a Mrs.
Oh, God.
Because you are the ownership and identity of the male. That is fucked up. It really is.
So the biggest reason why I want to keep the Netflix account.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay.
So I just transitioned
That's
off of that.
fine. I'm done. I'm done.
You actually thought I was
Fine.
making a connection to all this. Oh, your face
You're
is...
just...
Ready for this misogynistic, patronizing term? You two look so pretty today.
F you.
The brilliance of that, let me tell you why that was funny.
No.
Is because I knew it was an offensive thing to say, and I delivered it with aplomb. I did it so cleverly, I think. To all the listeners we have out there, which are 99% female, I'm getting my ass handed to. This may be
You're
our most
such a
popular
jerk.
episode that goes viral.
Oh, my God.
Got some really good clips from it, though.
All right. Yeah,
I agree
we'll
with
see
you.
about
So let me
that.
explain to you something that I cannot believe we're going down this path. You're awesome. You really are. I do love you so much.
I love you, too.
So I'm so nervous now talking about
Yeah,
this.
you should be.
I agree with everything you say. I think it is kind of silly.
I
think
know.
it shouldn't be like if I visualize, walking down an aisle when the announcer says, "And now the bride of the parents, Mr. and Mrs. Bill Smith, and the
Yeah.
bride of the groom, Mr. and Mrs. James Thompson."
Yes.
It is so old fashioned and out of touch, and yet I would argue half the country, our country, still believes that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, because none of us really sort of ponder the origin of why that is so, and we've become so used to it. And then, in an extreme way, people will attach it to feminism, and it's
not feminist, it's just respect.
It's
women just
it's
property
just who
though?
I am.
But weren't women
yes,
property?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
Aren't
it
those the
was
good old
it was
days?
the
Did you
father
hear what I said?
giving away his daughter for her to,
So he could get some
serve
crops.
a man and then procreate, and his daughter now had someone else to take responsibility for her.
Yeah, the good old days.
It's yeah, good old days. Good old days. You are.
I would like everyone to know that on our 41st podcast, it will probably be our last. So
It was nice knowing you,
It was
Jack Riley.
So let me say something to you, and I mean this sincerely. I truly appreciate my family's history and the Honar name and anyone's family history, not just my own. However, if you were to ask me to, I won't be a Packers fan. That shit will never happen. I will go to Packers games with you.
I'm not asking you to be.
I would take your last name. As long as it's not introducing Mr. and Mrs. Cathy Riley. Mrs. and Mr.
See?
I wouldn't do that.
See how you don't even like that?
No, because...
See when the shoe's on the other foot?
I get
If
it,
you
because
were-
now it
yeah.
sounds like, what, I'm your captor? Or captive, rather?
Thank you.
Right, I get it. No, I'm not. You know, everything I'm doing is just playing up the fact that we're on a podcast. Because if this was closed door, I'm totally in agreement with you. But I keep this odd sense of misogynistic humor that I think is kind of funny sometimes. But I realize it's not at all. Okay. And yet it is. Because I deliver it really cute. Because I'm cute. So...
Yes, you are. You're so cute.
I would take your last name because it's a badass last name. And Jack Riley, Sounds like, and now coming up, our guest speaker for the evening, Jack Riley, president of, that sounds really fucking cool.
President of
right.
pretty much anything.
It sounds bad. Doesn't it sound badass?
It does.
Right, or else.
It does.
Tonight's performer is going to do an acoustic set. It's Jack Riley Trio. Jack Riley.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking cool. Jack Riley's a cool name. Oh,
Jack
ready?
Riley is a cool name.
All right, ready? Or others ready? This is ready. All right, let's get Jack Riley on the phone. The president's under attack. Jack Riley sounds like a guy that's bad, like an FBI agent, right?
It is. It's like that Jack Ryan character.
Right, very similar, right.
Yeah, Jack Ryan, Jack Riley, yep. Mm-hmm.
So I would totally
Except it
take
would need to be spelled Reilly.
But that's how I spell the name of my dog. That was the irony of when we...
I know. Did we tell that story on our first date?
Oh, God.
What?
We should have done some edibles.
What do you mean?
We're all over the place.
Who cares? It's our
Okay,
podcast. We can go.
We can do
all over
whatever the fuck we want.
That's right.
Right?
Nobody's listening anyway.
Right,
so.
Mrs. Cathy Honar?
Yeah.
Mrs. Jack Honar?
Yes.
Oh, God, that does sound offensive, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
It does.
Yikes.
Well, I have only one. I shouldn't say that. I know I have one female. And by the way, if you want to take your husband's last name, for whatever reason, we're not saying not to do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're just
do
saying
that.
you don't like it.
I don't like
And
it.
I agree
I
with
don't
you.
like how it feels. It
get it.
always felt weird that, and especially for me with the last name being Riley, it's a nickname. And then when I was married, I'm like, I'm supposed to give that up? I know I wrote my married name out on some document at some point. I don't know if it was buying a house. And whenever that name would pop up again, I'd be like, oh, Riley's not there. Like, it's just weird to not see my name.
So, our friend, Aaron and Ron, because we have lots of Aaron friends, and our friend Aaron never took Ron's last name. But she's got a badass last name,
She
Jocelyn.
does. Yeah, she
It's
does.
a cool, you know what's so funny? You're approaching it, which I totally appreciate, and I don't want to say feminist, you're approaching it from why do I have to be subservient to somebody else kind of thing, right?
Well, it's my identity.
Right, that's what I mean.
It's like who I am.
I'm approaching it from that's a cool name. You see what I'm getting at?
Right,
but that's
right.
almost even worse because that's totally guy-like.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I'm not the one that will ever be. If I am a single white male, I am the top of the food chart.
You
right?
got nothing to worry about, my friend.
Right. So the whole discussion we're having, I'm not looking at it as a possessive or someone's owning me thing. I'm looking at purely as that's a really cool name.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think it's a badass name.
Sure.
So I think that's the reason you should take someone's name. It's just because it's better.
Well, sometimes there is, an upgrade.
I would totally. I really mean this, and I'm not kidding you. And I say this because I know if my dad were alive, if I said that your last name was Riley, he'd go, "Oh yeah,
Take that name.
take that name. Change your name right now." Jack. He'd be like, "Jack Riley. That sound. You could be a president. You could be a doctor. You could be a quarterback.
It's all in the name,
It's
man.
it's like you could do anything with that name." Oh, I'll do it.
No one would forget your name.
I will do it. You know what's funny?
But you would have to continue. You'd have to get used to saying Jack Riley, Reilly.
That wouldn't
because the
faze
world
me.
wants
I've
to
been
spell
saying,
it Riley.
If you think that's difficult, I've been saying Jack Honar. No, Hoj. The J is silent. I've had to explain it 5,000 times already in my life. So, I would totally take Jack Riley. And it's so funny because I know only one of my kids listens to the podcast. Well, two of them rather. Key, I think, listens because she has to.
She has to. She's paid to
Sam
listen.
never does.
Yeah.
I honestly think in a little bit of my soul that they'd be like, yeah, that's a pretty cool name.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know that they'd like me taking it per se because of the emotional piece.
Well,
with
yeah,
it,
and you're
it's a great name.
abandoning their last name then.
Yeah, but they're all abandoning last names except for Sam. And I would tell Sam Riley, that's a fucking badass baseball name, right? Or performer.
My daughter's middle name is Riley. My sister did that with her eldest,
really? I didn't know
Jessica. And I thought that was a great idea,
that's
so I
cool. Keep the name
copycatted
there.
her.
Oh, that's kinda cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's my sister's idea.
So do you know why, getting back to full circle, I'm squeezing your butt. Do you know why I don't want to give up my Netflix? Or shouldn't say don't want to. Can we go all the way back now? I love the discussion.
Yep.
And we're at a half an hour already. Which
Yeah,
is fucking
it's at a
hilarious.
level that you like. It's not deep at all.
I just
or
need a break
emotional.
from going deeper. I am a totally deep emotional person.
I know you are.
That.
I know you are.
I need a break from it once in a while, right? And if people want to see what we are, this is us too.
Yeah.
This is the shit that we talk about for 3 hours in a car.
I know.
When we drive places, because we're in fact recording this from Iowa, watching Sam. Way to go, Iowa, beating Nebraska yesterday.
Oh my gosh, that was a great game.
And it's snowing right now, which is so exciting.
The weather is unfortunate.
It's frightful.
And we need to go buy more clothes and steal the hotel blanket.
Yeah, it's awful. So
bring to the
anyway,
game.
I was looking at Hulu, Netflix. I was looking at all these accounts, and I have so much stuff saved there. Like my history of what I watch, my recommendation engine is like you love murder mystery and unsolvables.
I do, and I love English
and you
dramas.
love English drama. So I was looking at downstairs on our TV. Mm-hmm. So on my phone, it's whatever it is, right? But our TV has your login to Netflix.
Okay.
And so I was looking through the recommendation engines, and it was all British stuff and death unsolved mysteries and
unsolved mysteries.
And I'm like, oh fuck, there's like nothing I want to watch here. Then I went and looked at mine. It's totally opposite. So then I did all this. I swear, I researched how do you combine. Right. And it's not that easy to combine all this stuff, except you have your own. Here's where you can do it. You can have your own logins. So I'd have my own login on your account, but there's no way, at least I didn't see it. Now, maybe someone can find it for me because I'm good at this.
No, when you log into...
I know, but I can't transfer my saved stuff to your login.
Your saved stuff on Netflix?
I can't transfer. So we can have up to 4 logins, but I'd have to do it all over again is my point. I'd have to reset shit. That's the cost of doing stuff. That's what I mean.
Well, I'm happy to give up I'll find him again on Netflix. I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. Well, then you'll take my name too? Bam, look, I just controlled you. It starts with Netflix and it becomes a slippery fucking slope. And next thing you know.
My name is Mrs. Jack Honer.
Yes, I will walk around in a French maid outfit for you today.
I only watch The Office and Arrested Development.
By the way, I watched...
Which are brilliant shows, by the way.
We were working out downstairs, and Cathy... I had watched Jury Duty ahead of Cathy, and we said, let's do a 30-minute quick cardio workout. She was on the treadmill, and I was on the elliptical. And so I'm just looking for 30 minutes to watch something. So I watched Arrested Development, and it was so funny. This is when I wish we were recording what we're actually like. Get a camera there.
Yeah.
Because every 5 seconds, the two of us are laughing our asses off and stopping our workout to tell each other the scene that we're listening to. It's so stupid. All right, so you'll jump over to my side with Netflix. That's one. This is the slippery slope that I'm excited about.
Sure.
And then just practice writing H's. Just go CH.
You practice JRs.
It'd be totally cool to do a JR. JR's the guy, JR from Dallas, right?
Yeah.
See? What's his name, Jack Riley?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I would totally change it to Riley. I'm not shitting because I think it'd be fucking badass. I'm just trying to figure out how everyone would work.
Your kids will not want you to change it.
I don't know. I really mean it. There's a part of me, if I were to take a vote, I would say, I'm going to take a vote right now that Key would go do it. Key would say yes. Al would be like, whatever. I don't know what Sam would do. I would take it. It's a badass fucking name. I would take it even.
No one's arguing that.
So my dad always wanted me to change it to Hobbs because I love the movie.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Well, I love that, but I love the movie The Natural, where Hobbs is the last name of the main character that not Paul Newman, Robert Redford plays. And so he would always say to Sam, "Come on, Sam Hobbs."
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound cool, Jack Hobbs? Because my dad's point was you can keep the H. Ooh, just the mic, sorry. My dad's point was you can keep the H, right?
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure if my mom would chime in, my mom is huge into genealogy, and so that would really screw things up.
Well, you still file formally that you changed your name. So my point is, I think where people would get worried about it becoming Riley is because we have a relationship together, and that sounds spousal. Right? But Riley's just a cool fucking last name. And it'd be different. I'd spell it R-I-L-E-Y.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I always spelled it Riley.
I would spell it different.
I would spell it different.
It's just Cathy Riley and Jack Riley, but he spells it
R-H-G-E-X-L-O-L-E-Y. Pronounced Riley. Well, that's what Honar's like. Hojnar. How do you pronounce that? Hajnar. Just go with it. All right, it's 30 minutes in.
Okay.
We're done, baby.
We're done.
Yeah, that's our podcast. We try to keep it 30 minutes.
Oh.
Do you want to keep talking about stuff? Or? Oh
no.
my God. What did you want to talk about?
Something deep.
Did you really?
No, I'm not. I just wanted to talk about Jury Duty. Everybody watch Jury Duty. It is
Jury Duty's
fantastic.
great. We also loved.
Again, we're only 3 episodes in. I have no idea how it ends, but I can't wait until the reveal.
Good, yeah.
I can only imagine at the very last episode, they must reveal to the one guy who doesn't know what's going on.
I can't wait.
That dude, this whole thing has been a farce.
Can you imagine? You know what
like you can just see the walls of the set falling down.
Right.
Boom,
oh my God, would that be funny?
But no, they're going into a real building. Like they
are. I know that. They're treating it like,
and they're all sequestered.
It's so funny why they're sequestered too. And how James...
Yeah, because the actor... I take it back.
Do you know what I thought of just now? Is you said you wanted to do a podcast. We were talking about music, and what did you say we should do?
I want to share a new artist every week with people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but you know what we can... If people don't know our favorite band, Blackberry Smoke...
Yeah, we're going to see them in 2 weeks.
Yeah. If to anybody listening, all 8 of you, tune in to Blackberry Smoke.
Pick a song for them.
Yeah, we will. We'll put it in the show notes. Or whatever the hell that is that you do.
Oh, that'd be... I don't know. Can we
do any of that.
do that? Can we put someone else's song in our stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can.
Yeah, as long as you give proper credit. I mean, when you post in Instagram, you have this... You choose a song, and as long as you give proper credit...
Well, what I wanted to do was have an episode where we just talked about music. Because you know what's in...
Well, we can do that too.
To rewind to... Well, you had said, did we ever tell the story of us... the last name Riley thing. So do you want to tell that really quick? Because then I got a story about when we first met. So this is our first date stuff.
Yes, we did. Okay, yeah. So on our first date, after talking for 6.5 hours and getting ready to leave and call it a night.
You were like, can you drive me home? And then you said, do you want to make out?
Not exactly.
Do you want to make out? No, I was asking you.
I just remember at one point at the end of the evening thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I don't even know this guy's last name.
Yeah.
And I said, what is your last name? And I truly expected your last name to be Anderson or...
Oh God, that's so funny.
Or, I don't know, just something...
Generic?
Simple.
Yeah, thank you. And now you full circle. Now you know why my dad wanted us to change our names. Yeah. And
it's not a simple name, Hojnar, Honar.
Yeah.
But when I said my last name is Riley, Reilly, your face almost went into shock. You just were like, and then you said, that is the name of my favorite dog I ever owned. And that is the way I spelled it.
Yeah, because when we would go to the vet, believe it or not, they'd say dog's name, right? Because you have to check in sometimes, or different procedures we had to do. Mm-hmm. And they would always write Riley.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, no, it's Rei. And so I thought it was so funny that we shared that same last name.
Yeah, and that's the way I always say my name, Riley, Reilly.
Well, how I'm going to say my name now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah. Jack Riley.
Oh my God. It's a really cool sounding name.
It is,
isn't it?
When you start writing your
biography, fiction.
Yes, your erotic fiction.
My erotic fiction. It'd be one page. She started to take off her clothes, and I passed out immediately.
Story by Jack Riley.
I was too
You got to hide your identity when you start penning your dirty books.
It had been a long day solving crimes across the Manhattan skyline. You're the best Ed McMahon on the planet. So getting back to why I asked you to bring up our first date stuff, because that was the Riley stuff.
Yep.
On our first date, one of the first things I did, we were in the bar, talked about music, and then right away there would be a song playing overhead, and I'd go, who's this? and it happened to just be 80s and 90s music, which we were very lucky, because if it was today's music, I would have been like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were bonding over music, and then we pulled out Spotify together, remember?
Yep.
I mean, we started going through all the music that we shared, which was amazing how compatible we were musically. Do you agree with that?
Well, part of that, I think, is being the same age. We're both 57.
Well, but I know people who are my age that don't know who Sunvolt is. You knew who Sunvolt was. So
not as well as you. I had
But you
never
still
seen
had
them
them.
live. I just stumbled into a couple of tunes. I was like, oh, I love this.
Well, that's what I mean. We liked the same stuff, and then so on my Spotify account that I haven't shared with you yet, I love Monday. What is it called?
Better
now?
screenshot those playlists because they'll all be
Right?
gone when you
What's
switch
that
to
Monday
mine.
thing called?
Discover Weekly.
Discover Weekly, and every Monday it comes out with new songs, and that's how we heard of Illinois Sky, Michigan Rattlers, which we ended up seeing in Milwaukee.
Oh my gosh, so
All because
good.
we found them
We saw
on-
them in Chicago and Milwaukee. We
yeah.
loved them so much seeing them in
saw
Chicago
them
on a
back to
Friday
back.
night that we went to the show they were playing in Milwaukee then and
Saturday
saw
night,
them back
yeah.
to back. And they were opening for
I can't remember the girls' band, female band.
Poopy Head and L. I see letters when my memory goes. I see.
Liz something. Liquor Jones.
Nope.
That was a pretty good one if you really put the words
Nope,
together.
that actually wasn't very good.
It was delicious.
No.
Funny.
But Michigan Rattlers, another great.
What was the name of the female
great
band? They were awesome. That female guitar player could shred.
Yeah, they're sisters. And they were
my
on.
God. They were on Jimmy Kimmel.
They were on Jimmy Kimmel.
No, not Jimmy Kimmel. The other guy that I don't like. Not Jimmy Kimmel. The other late night guy.
An F. Jim
Fallon.
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. They were on Fallon's show the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell is their name now?
Crap.
We'll figure it out. So
Yeah,
anyway,
we'll share
I
it
want to have a
in the-
podcast about music. You could tell I want to go deep into the pool the next few podcasts.
Yeah.
Where we just talk about, we could talk about relationship stuff and how music is really important in relationships. And how we love music. So we're going to see Blackberry Smoke. Cathy had never heard of Blackberry Smoke. I heard of them because they used to be on late night videos. I don't know how they're not more mainstream. They're awesome.
I actually think they're gaining traction. I don't know.
I hope so.
I think they are.
They're such great
and
songwriters.
they've been around, you said,
God,
for like
30 years.
Yeah. That long?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was
they're
20
our
years.
age.
Well, I know.
So
yeah.
And then
You took me. You looked at the lineup at Summerfest.
Summerfest, yeah.
2 summers ago, our first summer.
That's right.
And said, "Oh, I want to take you to see this band, Blackberry Smoke."
Yes.
And they were just on a side stage. And if you've never been to Summerfest, you pay an admission at the door, and there are multiple stages, all over the grounds, and then one main stage that you buy a main ticket for. So we saw Blackberry Smoke at a side stage,
Right.
and it was they just blew my mind. And we've seen them probably 4 times since,
Yeah.
and we're seeing them again in a couple of weeks in Iowa.
Yeah.
And they are so talented.
So good.
Are you
right?
trying to find the name of the
I'm trying to
band?
find
Who toured with
did Michigan
Rattlers
Rattlers
tour?
open for?
L.
I can't remember. They were so good. And they're not, see, now it doesn't show them anymore touring with them. Who was the name of the band?
Crap.
Oh, babe.
Here, entertain the audience while I look.
So, all right, so we're going to have a podcast. No, let's blow it out. Come on. We're going to have a podcast about music. Can we do that one day? Have a podcast
Yes.
where we just talk about music?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have, let's do 2 things, because you said you want to have a band you want to talk about, and sister band begins with L. Are you serious? That is the silliest way to search something.
Sometimes it works.
Oh, it's not. It's terrible.
Um,
Come on. We got to figure this out.
a sister
Who'd
band.
they tour with? See, now they're not touring with them anymore, because I'm looking up right now. I'm on their website. They're not touring with anybody.
Shoot.
Oh, we'll figure it out. I want to say it was like Libra something, right?
It's an L. It's definitely
You sure it's
L.
an L?
Yes, I am.
Positive?
Yes.
What tickets how do we buy the tickets? Because I can look at my tickets. Look at my tickets.
Shoot.
Anyway, we're wasting air here. So
We are.
let's get back to, do you want to do your Gottman thing?
It's one of those things that drives you nutsoid.
I know. Do you want to do your Gottman thing?
Yeah, you look it up.
No, you look it up. You got the app.
You look it up.
Oh, I've changed my fucking name for you. That was funny.
Not really.
It was funny. Don't say that. I'm funny.
All right, so this is
Larkin Poe.
Larkin Poe.
Sorry, that was a little hard.
Yeah.
I just remembered it. Larkin Poe. Look
see?
up Larkin Poe too. They're much different than Michigan Rattlers, I think.
Yeah,
they're good.
and
Female
again,
lead
they're
guitar
two
player is
sisters, and
sick.
they've been playing together for about 17 years
So
or so.
good.
And one sister plays the slide guitar, like when you hold it horizontally or whatever, flat in front of you.
Not pedal steel, but slide. She just used a slide on her hand. She's really talented. They're both
so good.
They're both sick.
All right, we're going to go.
Before you do that, let's pick one song. So we just said now 3 bands, but
Yes,
Blackberry Smoke.
Blackberry Smoke.
What song? What's a song you love on Blackberry Smoke?
One Horse Town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? Oh, really?
Well, I mean, it's a good
fucking song.
Go
ahead and name your favorite song. They can both live in the same space.
No, they can't.
Yeah,
One
they
is
can.
favored her.
Okay. Go ahead. What?
Mrs. Cathy Riley, Mr. Cathy Riley thinks differently. Mm-hmm. I like out. Well, you know that one? I had a nickel for every time this time put on my face. And if it had a dime for every time I was fixing to leave this place, it would help me buy the gas I'm about to pour on everything I see. Don't mean shit to me. Let it burn, mama, let it burn. Yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah.
Listen to Let It Burn and One Horse Town by Blackberry Smoke. And now on to the deep section of the
these
podcast.
are the Gottman's card deck questions, and this one's under the deck of rituals of connection. So
These are just saying things we should do. They aren't questions.
All right.
Goodness sakes.
You said pick one.
Open-ended. Okay. Nope. Pick another one. Nope. There we go.
What kind of person do you think your child or children will become?
We already have
Any
children
fears
that
or
are old.
hopes?
Is our child like anyone in our family? Are you pregnant? Okay.
God help me if I would be.
How do you feel now about being a parent?
How do I feel now about being a parent? So, to clarify, as we've already said, I'm 57. My children are 25 and 22. And they don't need me anymore. At all. Ever. For anything. Nothing.
So agree.
So as a parent, you spend your whole existence once they're born, keeping them alive, keeping them happy, nurturing them, holding them, getting them into baseball and beat them to play the piano. And, oh, wait, that was just me. Doing homework
and you have no idea what you're doing.
Getting there and getting their hair cut and getting their teeth cleaned, and you put them to bed and you feed them healthy things and you do all this stuff. And now, being this age, I feel like I'm chasing them just to get a little attention. I'm like, I'll send a text. I'm like, oh, I hope they respond to me.
Right.
Or
when they just send that random text of, hey.
they say something back.
Right, or if the phone rings, it's one of your kids, you knock things over as you dive to get the phone off the countertop.
My kid is calling!
And then you miss it, you're like, oh!
And then they text and say, whoops, sorry, pocket dial. You're like, oh.
Right.
But dial.
So you didn't answer the question.
So the question is, how are you feeling now about being a parent? And that's how I feel. I feel like
left.
I feel worthless. I feel like they don't eat me anymore.
They don't eat you.
They don't need me
Got
anymore. And I like to believe in some part of my logical brain that, of course, they still need me, and they would be a little sad if I wasn't here anymore. But probably is different. And that's where that grandparent role becomes huge, I guess, because it not only gives us purpose for this little creature again who is just so going to be so yummy.
We get to do things better too.
But we also get to serve our own children again, and that feels so good.
It does.
To help them.
Yes.
And most times I imagine that they'll be extraordinarily grateful to have an extra set of helping hands. So my sister's eldest just had her first grandchild, Michael. Have not had a chance to meet him yet, but he, in June, early June, I'll get to meet him. And I know that she and Andy are just loving it. Like it's the best thing ever. And she's able to be very present for him and help them out with him. And not that that's everybody's scenario, of course, but so in terms of how are you feeling about being a parent, I feel like I'm just dying to, I feel like I'm chasing moments to be purposeful and present in their life because they don't really need me.
Correct.
And the truth is, if I can just share a little bit more.
No, keep rambling.
If they were still terribly dependent on me, like maybe still living in the house, still, if I was still doing their laundry and they still weren't paying their bills and they didn't have a job. I mean, that's the opposite of what would feel good, right?
Supposed to be.
So the fact that they are independent and building their own lives could be argued that is the success of it all, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So really, it all circles back to thank God I found you, because we get to share and build in our lives together, and that's so fulfilling.
Well, thank you. From one Riley to another. I appreciate that.
All right, so you go ahead. How are you feeling now?
Same exact way as you.
A parent?
I'm feeling like we're running way over time on the podcast.
Who cares? It's our podcast. People that are bored can just turn it off, for God's sake.
I don't want anyone turning it off. Bad enough that no one listens to it in the first place.
So
I feel the same way, but I think I had a little bit more of an advantage than you. I got to watch Al play sports, Key play a few sports, and now Sam. I still get to see my kids.
Oh, I know.
I mean, if Sam was just a regular college student, right, or Al was, or even Key for that matter, I'd never. I mean, not only do I get that, but Sam plays guitar too, so I get to go to gigs. So there's. Though they're not interacting in a way that I'd like them to, right? Yeah. Which is to, I don't know how to say this, but they constantly invite us or share. I also get that it's their lives. Yeah. So the one thing that I think we have as an advantage that our parents didn't is that I'm still Snapchat friends with my kids, Instagram friends. So when they post stuff, you at least feel you're seeing some of what's going on in their life. Like Al's at a bachelorette party right now. Yeah. So you get little glimpses of what they're doing, and that's life, though, right? I mean, we raise them to kick them out, essentially, right? I mean, a
absolutely.
bird hatches
Job
from a
well
nest
done.
and flies away.
Job well done, Daddy.
So, same to you. I mean, I think we've done what we were asked to do, and we didn't know what we were doing. We probably would go back and change things if we could, and yet here we are. And so you hope they do the best. And
that's right.
So it's just it's not. Maybe men look at it differently too. Because I think there's a part of that. I'm not trying to be gender-ish.
No, I know.
I think
there's
you
no
guys
doubt
carry them. You nurse them. We don't do any of that. We show up for a night and then pay some bills. You know, and so these kinds of separations are hard, no doubt, and they're also normal. Yeah, you know, that's the true dialectic, right? Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
So, in conclusion, if either of my children are listening, call your mother.
And you know what's funny? Neither of them are listening.
No, they're not.
The only one that's listening is my daughter. The oldest. The middle one listens out of necessity. And the youngest, who wanted to be on the podcast, doesn't listen at all.
That's okay.
That's okay. Well, that's again their prerogative.
We love them all.
All right, so to recap.
All right.
Jury duty. Blackberry smoke.
Do we need to recap?
Yeah, I think we should do a conclusion.
Okay. Conclusion. This is a new format.
It's a new format, summary format now. This has been great. I love doing this with
All
you.
right.
Let's go have a day now.
Babe.
Oh my God, it's 12 o'clock already. We got to get cruising.
We got to cruise. We got to go sit in the
Peace,
cold.
everybody. I sit in the
All right,
cold.
peace
Rock
out.
and roll. Peace, everyone. Bye.
Jack and Cathy Shit Show outro take
You should start off
652.
laughing. You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show.
Our senior producers are me.
Hey, and me,
This episode was produced, engineered, and mixed by
the amazing Key Honar.
Email your questions, comments, or interesting relationship stories to jackandcathyshitshow@gmail.com. That is Cathy with a C.
Be sure to follow and like our marvelous shit show on Instagram and TikTok at Jack and Cathy Shit Show. Apparently, liking and following is a thing.
It is.
Yeah.
This episode was produced by Pint Productions 2022. Point!